Have you ever wondered what it's like to work for a boss who really believes it's okay to fail? If so, you might enjoy working with Manasi Gangan. She is founder and president of Nested Bean. And Manasi, welcome to the Language of Business.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to have you here. Manasi, what does Nested Bean do?
Nested Bean is a sleep and wellness brand focusing on young parents. We make swaddling and sleeping bags for babies. They're lightly weighted. We have a patented design. So by helping the baby sleep better, we're helping the whole family sleep better.
And what was your inspiration in starting the business?
Oh, my second son, who wouldn't sleep. He was the inspiration. I would put him down and he would wake up immediately unless he was held in my arms. So that got me thinking, what is it that babies feel, or what do they receive when they are held? And I tried to sort of mimic that. And that was the inspiration. And I saw there was tremendous research in simulation of touch through lightly weighted objects and through deep pressure. And that was what the solution came from.
And a lot of people say it's okay to fail, but few actually live by what they say. What is it like being one of your employees?
I hope they say that it's a lot of fun because we keep it really exciting. These days, there is so much that you can try. As long as we know what the goals are, there is really no one way to reach the goal. So why only have one path to it? So what we try to do, and I encourage them to always try new things, as long as they have a clear idea of why they're doing it and how does it relate to the goal that we're trying to achieve. They have to learn, and as a result of that, they have to collect data, they have to document, and then they have to present why certain things are better. Certain ways of achieving the goal are better than others because they would have documented their findings. And then once we know what's the best way of achieving the goal, we just accelerate towards it.
So when they pitch to you, is it a PowerPoint? Is it a business plan? How do they actually document what you're looking for?
As we have grown, our way of documenting or pitching has matured. In the beginning, it used to be a spreadsheet. But then as we started growing and the stakes started getting higher, every thought that came into someone's mind was not good enough to be an experiment. So then we created a Word document where they would say what the idea was going to be, what data supports the idea, what the ROI is, and how much fund do they need, how many funds, what are the funds that they need to execute on that experiment, when would it end? And typically, if it's more than 2 weeks, it's not well thought out. So we started creating some parameters around it.
Your business has pivoted from formerly being almost all retail to now entirely online. How did you go through that change?
Very methodically, I have to say. We were all retail, as you mentioned, until the environment was changing, but we were sluggish in changing with the environment. Millennials were shopping online. But it came as a result, it was almost forced upon us when our factories, our supplier changed their pricing model and they became 40% costlier. We couldn't sell to retail anymore. So when we were shifting our supply chain model, it afforded us a gap of about 6 to 7 months before we could go to a new supplier and have those products land in our warehouses. So in those 7 months, we didn't have a lot. We were short of products, so we were not going to sell. So whenever businesses don't, when they're not selling, I encourage them to build. So we started building our website, building ourselves, our methods to digital market. We started learning, and by the end of 2015, we had a brand new website. And in the whole of for about 6 months in 2016, we started perfecting our digital marketing techniques. So that's how we pivoted.
And now we're about 5 years later, and in the middle of COVID-19. How has Nested Bean had to change its strategy in light of our global pandemic?
The way we worked back then and today has not changed a whole lot because we carried those nimble processes with us since the last pivot. But what we have done since COVID-19 is instead of creating long-term plans, even 3 or 6 month long plans, we've broken them down into smaller wins, just in case, the current situation changes in 3 months, and we don't want to, peg our goals or targets too far in the future, because you're not going to know what the next 3 4 months are going to bring. So we started creating smaller wins, but at the same time we also started creating other opportunities, breadth wise, not deep, so that once things do get lifted, when the world goes back to a bit more of normalcy again, that we will be able to scale all of those initiatives at the same time, creating sort of a compounding effect.
Not your babies who you designed for, but what keeps you up at night about the future of Nested Bean?
um, I think excitement about the growth opportunities keep me up more than anything. Creating the right team structure, the excitement of it keeps me up, because I think without people, without the culture, companies don't exist. They cannot grow. They cannot sustain their growth, and it's not easy attracting the right talent, the right minded people. So that's what I think about more than anything else, especially in our growth stage right now. Um, but it's all stems from excitement.
Mansi, thank you very much.
Thank you, Greg.
Manasi Gangan, founder and president of Nested Bean.